And now, the moment you've been waiting for, a senior moment with your host, Kerry Saunders. We talk about your health, staying healthy, your wealth and your golden years, and so much more. And now, a senior moment with your host, Kerry Saunders.
Good morning, everyone. How you doing out there? And all of our great listeners. This is Kerry Saunders, the host of a Senior Moment radio show. You can listen here every Saturday on WUFO Radio 96.5, 1080. Yeah, 1080. You remember 1080 used to be the AM station? You can still listen to it on 1080 and 1080. Before I get started, Happy New Year's, Power 96.5 down here at the station on WFO Radio at 143 Broadway. We have calendars, some really nice calendars. Let me show you to the people listening on Facebook. See those? Those are really nice. You can come down here and you can get one. Just come down here and ask for a calendar. They're really nice calendars, and they're all pretty cool. They got a whole bunch of good information in them, and you can come right down here to the studio at 143 Broadway WFO Radio and pick up a calendar. Hurry up down. Hurry, because they're going to be gone. Today on the Senior Moment, we have a really, really good show. We have Rosalind Burgeon. She is the co-owner of MMB Realtor Group. And MMB means Moultrie, Murphy, and Burgeon. And it's a black woman realty business in the city of Buffalo. We're going to talk all about the business with her. You probably see those signs, the purple and yellow signs all over the community, BMB. So we have Rosalind Burgeon here today. And don't forget MLK Day at Klein Hands with Betsy Patterson on January 14th at 6 p.m. at Klein Hands. Today our show is sponsored by Roswell Park Comprehensive Cancer Institute. If you go to your primary doctor and your doctor says, we found something that might be in you that's not looking right. It could be of some cancer, or maybe not. You need to go to Roswell Park. Roswell Park Comprehensive Institute is the place that works. That's all they do is research cancer. So why go somewhere else? Your primary doctor said they find something, go to Roswell. Roswell has a lot of screenings going on too. They have lung cancer, prostate. They give out breast cancer screening. So go get screened too at Roswell. Roswell's right on the medical campus at Roswell Park Cancer Institute. And then across the street, they just opened a building up on Michigan, and it's like an outreach center. So you can go there, and it makes life a lot easier too. And you can get the same. Go ask for schedule schedule a screening. The weather outside is nice. It's getting cold. It was cold yesterday. It's not bad today. It's snowing a little bit. Not snowing. It's Buffalo winter. So just right for that when you go outside. Get your flu shot. I got mine, and your COVID shot, and this RSV. That's important too. So that's it. Hey, before we start with Rosalind, we have a person in our studio that ran for Cheektowaga Town Council this last November. He lost, but he's the first African American to run for council in Cheektowaga. And now I just want to talk to him about a couple of things, because from what he's saying, and which is true, Cheektowaga doesn't have a town council district. You only can run at large. So for all the African Americans who moved to Cheektowaga, who live in Cheektowaga, who live on the north end of Cheektowaga, they really don't have no representation. And so Ken Young is here, and he's going to talk about how he's going to try to implement some kind of new rules in Cheektowaga for the voting and to change that into districts. So good morning, Ken. How you doing?
Good morning, Kerry.
So tell us real quick, how was your run in Cheektowaga? How did that go?
It went very well on the north end of town, the
Okay.
northwest end of town, where the majority of the minorities live.
Okay.
When we got outside of that area I lost big time.
Okay.
Okay, I was the first vote getter in those areas in the north end of town. Okay, so what I'm saying and what we're saying is that without wards, there would never be a minority sitting on that board in Cheektowaga, because as I can show you that I won. I had 2,300 votes over that in that neighborhood. The next closest person to me was probably 300-400 off.
Right.
All right, and certainly the Republicans who won were 14. They had 1,400 was the highest vote getter on that in that district. So I'm saying if there were districts, the people would get what they want, and it's not only about black and white. It's about people being in your community that you know, that's working for you. We have people sitting on the board that's been there for years that have done nothing. You can't get them off. But if you had wards, you can get those people out and get people in here that's doing the work. Okay,
Right.
Our side of town is suffering. Okay, the north side of town is suffering.
Right.
Okay, we get the scraps, if anything.
So there is a little buzz out there that you actually, because of the black vote, the new supervisor got elected.
Right.
Because you helped him get elected.
It
helped him, sure, 2,300 votes you got.
right.
And that was a good turnout. And so how many people in Cheektowaga though? It's like what?
It's about 78, 79.
So you're saying if you that's a good, so if you turn that into 6 just off my mind, if you turn that to a 6 election districts, that's like 15,000 person per, which was about right. But no, there's no election district, so a person like yourself can't win because the whole
of the overwhelming numbers from the other side.
This other side of town. So then we're underrepresented in Cheektowaga, and I get that. So what are you going to do about it?
Well,
What do you want to do about it?
We're looking at the John R. Lewis Voting Rights Act of New York. Okay, there's a act that was instituted in 2022 by the state of New York. We're asking the federal government, not the federal, but the New York State government to come in and help us to force Cheektowaga to do this. All right, to put wards on, because they're not going to do it otherwise. All right.
Right.
You can't do it with the referendum by saying, well, let the people vote, because the people have voted already. The people have already said, no, we don't want that. We want what we have. Okay, and that's not working for everybody.
So you wanted to be forced by the redistricting through force, like through the courts.
Right. They've got till February 1st to respond to a letter that we sent to them, certified letter. And if they don't respond in kind, we're going to file a lawsuit against the town.
So that's where you're at right now. So after February 1st,
right,
you're going to come back on and let us know?
Yes, we'll be back. I'll be back. I'll let you know, and maybe I'll bring my attorney, Gary Borg.
Yeah, so we can get deep into this, okay? But now we just letting our listeners know what's going on in Cheektowaga.
Okay,
and on the north end of Cheektowaga is over by Eggard and over by between Harlem and Eggard and Kensington and all that over there.
From Broadway back.
So you'll know what area we're talking about. Over there where you have mostly African American homeowners over in Cheektowaga who moved into Cheektowaga, and that's the north end. That's over by Eggard and all those areas over there.
From Broadway in Harlem back to Kensington.
Back to Kensington.
Okay,
and
where I'm talking.
right, and so that's all the north end where the minorities or black people live at, and they homeowners, but they have no representation.
Right.
So they need representation,
Right.
and you're doing the right thing, Kenny Young, and you did a great job by running. And now I'm glad you're making this move to try to change what's going on out in Cheektowaga. If anybody from Cheektowaga is listening, and I know you are, I think you should support this 100%. And I hope the town government after February 1st agrees with you, Kenny. And so you need representation really quick because you have to get
one more
tired of this.
thing.
Yeah.
I have a GoFundMe page because I need about $2,000 to the statistician to start this off. So it's at Equal Voting Rights for Cheektowaga. It's my fundraising page. GoFundMe. It's Equal Rights for Cheektowaga. It's the name of the GoFundMe page.
So you go to it's a GoFundMe page, Equal Rights for Cheektowaga, and Lee Pedigree said he's gonna make sure he publishes that, right, Lee? Lee's not listening. But I mean that seriously. We need to support Cheektowaga. We need to support Ken Young and his move because they need representation. And this is like going back. This is like going back to the old days. I mean, back in the '60s when we had to fight for representation. They should do the right thing in Cheektowaga and give us some representation.
Sit there and say diversity on the board.
There's no diversity
on the board.
because there's the whole board is white, right? Let's face it. The whole board is white,
Absolutely.
and it's Cheektowaga. And as much as we go through Cheektowaga and shop at the mall and all those other stores, there should be some representation. So thank you so much, Ken.
Okay, thank you.
And we'll have you back on February 1st.
All right,
That
thank
was
you.
Kenny Young from Cheektowaga Town. He ran for Cheektowaga Town Council, he lost, but he wants to send that to a district. Send it to district so people in Cheektowaga have some representation. This is 2024. Come on. Well, you know what? We're dealing with this all over the country. So people in Cheektowaga, if you're listening, do the right thing. Do the right thing. Okay? All right. So, hey, good morning, Rosalind.
Good morning.
We have Rosalind Burgeon on. She's from MMB, a realtor, and she's was African American, a black woman realtor business in the city of Buffalo, and we're going to talk to her all about her business and what's happening in the city, especially on the real estate side. So, first, Rosalind, tell us about yourself and why did you start selling real estate? What's that all about?
So I've been a broker for the last 5 years.
Can we see you?
Thank you.
There you go.
And so I've got my real estate license about 17 years ago. This is my 17th year after retiring from National Grid and looking for something to do, second career. And my goal has always been focused is to help build our community, improve our community. So I live in the city. I know that home ownership creates better communities. So that was my goal, to be a buyer's agent and help people purchase homes so that around me, the neighborhood can look like my house does, basically.
Yeah. So you started off just going into the selling real estate just to have a second career.
Second career.
And so then MMB got started. And how did MMB get started? And then who are your partners?
So I, as you know, being in real estate, and I met Tamika Collins Murphy, and Mia Mutri. And Mia and Tamika were a team together. So they were the Mutri-Murphy team.
Oh, okay.
In the very beginning. And two young ladies that are awesome. Their partnership was very successful. And I convinced them to join the company that I was with and come over and work with us. And then they convinced me. Tamika she's a visionary. And she's always said she wanted to own her own business. So the three of us, in our friendship, developed a partnership, and that's how Mutri Bergen Realty Group.
So that's why it's
came.
MMB and not MBB, or
well,
because you
we started off with the BMM, and that's like a bowel movement. So,
so you.
So we had
we
went with the MMB.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So all right, operating a black woman realtor business in the city of Buffalo. What gives? How's that going?
It's actually each year has been better.
Okay.
I mean, we look at serving our clients in Western New York, and as we serve, we measure that each year we got to do a little better. So we celebrated our 3rd year.
Okay, you only been in business for 3 years? Seems like you've been around it forever.
We have. Together we have 30 years experience.
But I mean 3 years of MMB.
3 years MMB.
It seems like we've been seeing those signs forever.
No, just 3 years. And each year we've done better than we did the year before. And that's because we keep a focus on, even with the agents that work with us, we're a team. Mm-hmm. So we can't be successful. The three of us can't be successful without helping others.
So it was 3. How many employees do you have now?
Well, they're independent contractors.
Okay.
So our team consists of 21 people
Wow.
right now.
All black?
No,
Oh,
we're
okay.
diverse.
You're diverse?
Yeah.
But you have
Yeah.
21.
21 total.
So what are the roadblocks and advantages of being a black woman-owned business, in the city?
Well, real estate definitely, as you know, is been dominated by people, by white people.
Right, white people.
White people,
Okay.
basically.
Yeah.
And the statistics show even the home ownership, just look at the home ownership level. These white home ownership is about 75% in the city of Buffalo. We're minority, African American, Hispanic. We make up about 43% of home ownership. So that with that, just that alone indicates that there's a disparity there.
So, speaking of that, East Side housing market, how's the buying and selling going on in the East Side housing market now? Because you see a lot of houses up for sale.
Absolutely.
What's going on?
So, and you see a lot of houses, but really the inventory is low. Housing prices in Buffalo has drastically changed. I mean, 16 years ago, I was able to buy a house at an auction for $18,000. That's unheard of now. If you find a house for $18,000 nowadays, you need to tear it down and build a new house. But
because it's no good.
So the housing prices are going up, but we're still in the city of Buffalo. We're still ranked the 5th best place to purchase for a first-time home buyer. So there are properties out there. There's a lot of vacant lots. So our goal is to just continue to educate, because I think that's for the minority buyers out there, for our community, people of color. They need to understand the process.
Right.
They need to understand how to get started. So
let me ask, because I want to ask you a question then, because you're bringing that stuff up too. So people listening, they might think being a realtor is a good opportunity. What do you need? What kind of education do you need? You just got to go to training?
There is a 75-hour prerequisite course to get your license. So you have to get licensed by the state first. 75 hours to get licensed. Then you affiliate with a broker. So Mutry, Murphy, Bergen, MMB, we're a broker. We would pick up your license and then provide you with training somewhat on the job. And what we stress within our group is that you don't work for MMB. You're an independent contractor. I mean, my thought in real estate, in addition to helping buyers, improving the community, I'm my boss. When I started, this was my way of building my own business, my own company, being my own boss. So you definitely put into it what you want to get out of it.
Are there a lot of black realtors in Buffalo?
There is. It's definitely, the number does not represent our population, but there are a number. Yeah. There's 5, people have said to me, "Oh, you're the only black-owned company." We're not.
No, there's other black-owned realtor companies. Who are they?
There's 5 other.
I know this is your show, but who are they? I'm not giving them a plug.
There is.
Since you brought it up,
Keith Barnes, Barnes Realty, I think the name. But Keith he had his own company when I got licensed.
Okay, so he's been around for a while.
Affordable Dreams, which is Denise Taylor. Class A real estate. The broker is Wilma Norman. Faith Realty, which is owned by Keisha Anzac Bennett, and then Scott Realty, that's owned by Andre Scott and Andrew Scott.
Well, I could say MMB is the most visible.
Well, thank you for
I
that.
can say that. And most people, our listeners probably seen your signs, the purple with the MMB on them. So that's probably the most visible. And you say the East Side housing market. Are black people buying houses?
It's a diverse.
This is diverse
Yeah,
on the East Side.
in the
Yeah,
East Side,
what's
we
going
have
on? What's going
lot
on?
of
Because a lot of white people are coming in and buying houses on the
absolutely,
East Side.
because housing is affordable.
Okay.
It's affordable.
Right.
I mean, there's good properties, and my vision is that any house can be made livable. You can, it can be livable.
And let me ask you something. And you might not know this because Kenny Young was here, and we talked about North Cheektowaga. A lot of black people are buying houses over in North Cheektowaga. Why is that going on? Is this like just because it's affordable housing, or what? Or better
I don't think
better
it's
living?
affordable housing. I think it's more geared towards school districts, and what school do I want my children to go to? I think that with a lot of the young people, or the whole stereotype of reputation, I don't want to live in Buffalo, or when I purchased my house at the auction, my daughter said to me, "Mom, you can't live on that street." I promise you, I won't live on the street. I'm going to live in my house, and I'm going to make my house livable.
Yeah.
There's a stereo. You don't want to live on the East Side. You don't want to live in Buffalo. Well, if we get together and purchase the homes and purchase, it changes the community.
Yeah. My wife will not leave our house. Yeah. She won't. And I'm asking her, I said, well,
so
but she will not.
One of my,
I get it.
I love our city, and I honestly believe that our city employees should live in their city.
Now, everybody's probably got this through the mail because we get a lot of them. There's people that just write you letters. I want to buy your house.
I'll buy your house.
What is that? Is that scam or what?
No, it's not. It's not a scam. Actually, there are people out there. The scam is they're not going to buy your house for what it's worth.
Okay.
So that's one of the things that also that we want to get out, educate people of that. Know the value of your home. So you get this, I'll buy it, I'll buy cash. So my thought, what my saying is, at the end of the day, because I'll buy it with cash, you close in 45 days. Another buyer has financing, it may take them 60 days. Right. So is that $10,000 difference worth you waiting 60 days? Because at the end of the day, it's all cash. At the end of the 60 days, you get cash. Right.
So should we be careful about that, or should
absolutely
we be careful? Okay.
I mean, we did billboards that said, when we first started, we had billboards that, because it was very, very popular, that all the postcards, I'll buy your house, pay cash, pay closing costs.
You get them all the time, letters, and
We had, know what your house is worth. So seek a professional and get an opinion of, know exactly what it's worth before you.
This is great.
Fall into that.
And I'm hoping I'm not running out of time, but explain downsizing, because that's part of knowing what your house is worth.
Yeah.
Right sizing. So for older Americans, right sizing. Should they be right sizing? Tell us what right sizing is and what they should be doing.
So we talk about the right sizing, the downsizing, because we have so many. We have people who purchased their homes 40 years ago, and in our lot of Buffalo, you have homeowners who live in these huge 4-bedroom houses. They're living probably downstairs, trying to maneuver, going upstairs. Life changes. So they say the average person would buy 3 homes: the home they raise their kids in, or their first-time home buyer, the home they raise their family in, and then the right size. Okay. So that you can retire into a comfortable, healthy home that you can maneuver through without needing assistance, without having, maybe a ranch.
Yeah.
So that's, and you have equity. You've built equity in your home that you purchased.
So equity is to get money from your house.
Your house is worth, money.
So what you're saying is, now listen up, guys. If you're in a house right now and you got to go up and down the stairs and you have to maneuver around and you're alone, maybe your loved one passed away, and and you have kids that come over, or you might not have kids. It's time to start looking at your house. And
what is my house worth?
What's your house worth?
What's the other options?
And what's the other
look
option?
At the options.
Just look at the options, because it might be a smart time to move into a senior housing, or
a community,
senior
ranch,
community, or ranch, or smaller house, and that's downsizing.
Yes,
and then
absolutely.
So they could talk to MMB about that too, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, don't be afraid to look at it.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
you could be sitting on a gold mine.
Because
I bet you there's some houses over there, like on Blaine and stuff right there, and people are living in them.
Yeah.
And them houses are going for a mint right now.
Absolutely.
In that area over by Canisius College and stuff like that. And there's still people living in them that maybe they shouldn't be, because they're living alone. Well, I got a house. Okay, you got a house, but
you want to have a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, you're struggling
also.
with the house.
You want to be comfortable.
You gotta go.
And that's what I.
And I'm not picking on that area, but I'm just saying, and it's probably happening all over the city though.
But that area is where there's value there. The houses are selling for quite a bit.
Yeah, and you can get rid of your house right away if you live over there.
Absolutely.
And downsize with a big pocket full of money, right?
Yes.
First-time home buyers. What should they? Do you help not just first-time home buyers, but MMB? Do y'all help buyers get financing and stuff
Absolutely.
like that?
Yeah.
Show them how to credit. What do you do?
We work with different banks. As a matter of fact, we have a home buying seminar coming up February 17th at Mount Olive Baptist Church. This is the 10th workshop that we're doing, home buying seminar.
February what?
February 17th.
February 17th?
That's Saturday, February 17th.
Okay.
Starts at 9:30. Doors open at 9:30. Will be registration. You can register online. So that we have all different vendors coming in. So because we screen our clients and determine what's the best mortgage for them, depending on where they are.
How do the seminars go? Is it a good turnout?
Absolutely. Last year we had 158 registered.
And all black people?
No, it's a mix.
I'm not
diverse,
just trying to say it, but I'm trying to push our listeners into the market.
Minority.
Buy a house.
Yeah, at least find out where you are.
Buy a house.
Yes.
I mean, these kids, they got kids over there on the other side buying houses, and they're only 30.
And
30 years old, and they're buying houses, man. And
younger than that.
Younger than, that's what I'm saying, over in North Buffalo, right?
Yeah. And so, if you work
younger than that, oh my
rent
gosh,
prices, rent prices are going up.
Right.
So why pay someone else's mortgage when you could pay your own?
So we're almost out of time. MMB mortgage realtor group. What would you say to people who are just listening for downsizing? And they should consider that. And first-time home buyer. So
my advice is to make a phone call, reach out to, I'm partial to MMB, so you can call us.
They should call you. Your signs are all over the east side, MMB.
And talk to a professional. It does not hurt to have conversation, to get information, and then decide what your plan's going to be and what's best for you.
Real quick, so something interesting, and I got to go. Broker between realtor broker. What's the difference between a broker and, because I'm just my own. So it's two differences, right? A
broker is the managing person of a real estate company.
Okay, that's what you are.
Yes.
All right.
I am the broker of record. My two business partners are also brokers. So when I retire, because I'm much older than they are, they'll take over. But New York State says you have to have a managing broker.
Okay, and so there's
education. Right. The education's more, and the requirements are a little more or higher for a broker. But yes, seek a professional information.
You gotta go.
Okay.
From the most popular DJ in the town.
Thank you for having me.
Listen, 2024 calendars are at WUFO. Come on down and get you over there. They're beautiful. They're sold calendars too, so you might like it. Really, they're down at WUFO. Come on down, 2024 calendars. Come on down, we got a ton of them. We had MMB, Rosin Bergeron on today from MMB Realtor. really looking into downsizing and really looking and telling your grandkid or your kid, why don't you think about buying a house?
Absolutely.
Contact MMB.
Yes, our office number is 716-534-8495.
All right. Talk to you next week.
Thank you, Kerry.
Thank you, Rosalind. Have a good day. Get out. See you next week. Go Bills. Love you.
You just heard a senior moment with Kerry Saunders. Join Kerry every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. right here